What's up, everybody? It's your boy DEBO, and to my left, I got my girl.
It's the one and only DIVA KELLZ.
Oh, it's just the one and only DIVA KELLZ.
Yeah, it's the one and only.
Oh my goodness! And we're spilling things, and we're doing stuff right at the beginning of the show. Oh my goodness! The bubbly is real doubly.
Wait, do you remember that night we were in the studio and you went that water on me?
Yeah.
And I jumped up like. It was so cold.
Yeah, well, I dropped it again. So
it's all good.
This has actually been a pretty interesting week. Mm-hmm. A lot of things going on. You know, of course, there are one of our favorite times. I know you like football, but you know, we both, you know, we love us some basketball, especially when it comes to the Cavs. And you know, so it's been a wonderful thing for us.
Right.
So, but before we even go through all that stuff, man. We talking about the Cavs, right?
Right.
And all the talent that they have. And I just wanted to just go ahead and get some preliminaries for this Royal Flush. I got to get this Royal Flush.
The Royal Flush.
And my thing with this Royal Flush is, my problem is that my Royal Flush for me is that with all that talent, I keep hearing this expertise thing about Tyronn Lue.
Okay.
I really do not think that maybe he's going to prove me wrong, but I don't believe that starting Dwayne Wade is what's best for the team. And I hope that he's not doing it just because LeBron said so. I mean, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be, you know, for the reason that it's supposed to be, because he earned that spot. And hopefully, I mean, of course, they got to win. If they're gonna win, it's gonna break up again. But I just don't see his expertise, because it still looks like they're running the same thing they ran last year. And they were supposed to spank the heck out of the Celtics last night after Gordon Hayward get an 18-point lead. A team that's supposed to be that you know, much of veterans and stuff on it. That shouldn't have been allowed to happen.
What was the final score?
They won by 3 points, and Kyrie had a chance to tie the game up, and he just missed it by inches. It was on target. But you know, Kyrie was doing his thing, but it was the other people that was doing stuff. It just shows a little bit of how slow the Cavs are. They don't have no young folks on their team. They got the 30s up, man. They got the Geritol squad. They veterans, but they Geritol. So I don't know what to do about that. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
He said Tyronn Lue is so suspect as a coach. I think a lot of people say that, and I think I feel the same way. You're gonna have to prove it to me, because like I tried to kind of be lenient with it in the beginning,
right?
But it was a lot of it's LeBron's team. Let's just put it where it is. Say it what it is.
Right.
You just there because they gotta have a coach, and they had to stick somebody in the position. Like it, you do not possess, or you do not assert and show the coaching
right
credentials. We don't see that him as a coach. I just don't see it. It's just like the suit and tie brother that's with the team.
Right. So I mean, I just ain't really feeling it. So you know, he got to show me something, because I ain't seen nothing about what he doing, man. So who you flushing this week?
Look, I don't know if I want to flush Matt Ryan or the Atlanta Falcons, but collectively they got to go, bro.
They got to go.
The Royal Flush.
You can't. This is the third time. This is the third close call that Atlanta has had this season. First it was in Chicago, then it was in Detroit. Now you come to Miami and it catches up with you.
Right. Never
would have expected. It's just something about game closers and Matt Ryan that do not mix. He can play a 4 quarters, and then the very last play is the choke. Every time, I just don't understand how you throw. I just don't get it.
Well, you know, we really don't. I mean, I know that's a subject, but I know you really don't care, because
I don't.
You're a Saintonite.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, we won, but yeah, they like that. It shouldn't have even been that case where they were that close.
Right.
Like you can't build the lead. I mean, they didn't get blew out or anything. They didn't get blown out, but you know, they did lose. My sister's so funny to me. I like your little hair. That's what she
I like her little hair too, sister. It's sleek. It's sleek and slick. It's it's S squared. Sleek and slick. And she got the ruby red lips.
Okay, clearly niggas purple.
Well, damn it. on TV they look ruby red. Yeah, that is purple. I think KELLZ was eating some grape annihilators on the way here. Oh yeah, they still make grape annihilators.
I still eat them too.
And that's what see how to prove my point. See, I know KELLZ. That's why we do what we do. KELLZ eating grape annihilators.
My sister, man, she got some shit. Whatever, man.
But you know what's so crazy? Remember when we were at the on a radio show and it was candy? It's like, man, it's like candy. We were eating Starburst, like that was our snack of Starburst and Skittles, and we talking about losing this and doing that, and it was just like part of the show. It was like we couldn't do the show without having something.
Some type of snack. Just I would ask you for a quarter every week.
Right.
The little chiclets gone. That's still my favorite gone.
So, you know, with that being said, I just want to go ahead and go into this this thing with with all these sports, you know, people there protesting, you know, and you know, really people are protesting because of the thing that's going on with Trump. But you know, what is kneeling? What is holding hands? What is those things don't stop anything. You know, as far as even football, basketball, the product and everything still goes on and nothing stops. Now, you know, when is somebody going to step up and start taking the steps? And the one thing that I will say is that, you know, at this point, I can give a damn if Colin Kaepernick get back in the league or not, because at this point, it's past that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's past that with Colin Kaepernick, because for one thing, he's not speaking up for himself. I don't know if someone's telling him not to, and is he doing it because now he put his foot in his mouth, and his advisors are telling him to not say anything because the more he does, that he probably definitely won't get in. Because if I thought that, you know, you remember what his issue is? He messed up because he bet on himself, and he voided out his contract where he could have made another $15-16 million. He voided that contract.
You know, in the beginning, I was one of those people. I was kind of like, you know, okay, if you choose to boycott and not watch, that's on you. But as time goes on, it starts to make sense to me. And one of the things that I keep hearing people say is, you know, they'll say, well, you know, it's easy for us, and I said the same thing, it's easy for us to say, oh, you should do, because it's not us.
Right.
But the longer we stay seated, we keep our mouths closed, it's like we're excusing it and we're saying that it's okay.
Right.
It's like we're saying that the social injustice, the racism, the stuff that's going on in the world is fine, and it's not.
Right.
It's totally not fine. It's not okay. And it's just crazy that in 2017, you're telling somebody that they can't kneel, they gotta stand. You're telling grown men what they have to do.
Right.
And you're saying that somebody's disrespecting the country, yet we can see so many African American men that have been killed that were unarmed.
Right.
Now, if that's not the ultimate disrespect, and I'll take it even a step further, we'll talk about the guy from the military that was, you know, they had the ambush. And
right.
The guy that was killed.
Right.
And Donald Trump said he knew what he signed up for. If that's not the ultimate disrespect.
Well, I'll say this. You know, I've never been, you know, one to fall back on my disdain for it. Just what Trump stands for. Not to say you hate anybody, because when you go into this thing of hating, you know, he exists because we allowed him to exist.
Right.
And not physically in the harm, but we allowed all of this to get to this point because, you know, we thought, you know, a lot of us didn't go out there, and a lot of us didn't, you know, fight for anything. So, you know, we go out there and protest and all this stuff like that. And, you know, what is it doing at this point? Because we played around and let that man get in office, and to me personally, he's making a mockery of it.
Right.
He's making a mockery of it. And there's certain people that voted for him for particular reasons, and the reasons that they voted for him, to me, is selfish because he had key points of what they wanted. But come on now, I mean, do you really? I mean, I think the logic between everybody was that, okay, we've let politicians themselves run it for all these years. Let's see what a businessman can do.
Right.
But we haven't talked about all of the failed businesses that he has, that he's had. You know,
all the people he owned.
right. So it's like and the funny thing about it is there's not even somebody that's making a stand that you even see in the future that's going to even be able to go up against him to get him out the office. He can just as well be back in there because they're probably rig it so the person that runs up against him next time is so bad that he'll be back in there for a second term.
And it's just like he said, this is a great thing. I always said that they didn't vote for him because they thought he was going to help them, but they voted for him because they thought it was going to hurt us, and that's true. But what people don't realize is we've been making it.
Right.
We've been making it. So it's going to actually hurt them more when you start talking about welfare. If you look at the statistics, it's more of them on the welfare than it is us. So it's
right.
not hurting. We've been making it. We've been getting through. So when you see this type of stuff, like I said, it comes full circle. You see why they're kneeling. You see why it's important. And this, people's like, well, I live faithfully by money is not the world to everybody. Right. Everybody does not live by money. Everybody doesn't live by it.
No, I mean everybody doesn't live by money. Principles and morals are very important. Money is a necessity to an extent, but at what extent are you going to make this money? I mean, we understand we have bills to pay and things of that nature, but are you willing to give your integrity? Are you willing to give up things that makes you in the essence to make money? Or it's hard because it's very hard for a person who has something all their whole life to sympathize with somebody who's come from nothing or who has worked themselves up. And like you said, they're going to, we're used to not having. So to take things away from us, it doesn't bother them. I mean, I remember, boiling hot water on a kerosene. From where I'm from, boiling hot water on a kerosene heater to heat, putting the water on the top so it can heat the whole, thing, and not having a car and walking in the snow with my stepdad, going to go get kerosene, them little $5 things, and walking 3-4 miles. I'm carrying one, he's carrying.
The kerosene heat up the whole house.
Yeah, so
I just love the smell.
Right.
Of it.
So when people talk about the haves and the have-nots and all that shit like that, you just kind of get tired of it now. And like, dude, man, have you really been through something? Talk to me when you know what I'm really feeling. And on that note, man, we're gonna go ahead and go to our halftime commercial break, and we're gonna see you on the other side.